Isang nakakagulat na pangyayari ang naganap sa Senado ngayong araw matapos sumarap si Vice President Sara Duterte upang pangalanan ng mga umano'y korap na opisyales sa pamahalaan. Sa kanyang talumpati, matapang na inilantad ni VP Duterte ang ilang matataas na opisyal na umano'y sangkot sa mga malalaking anomalya at katiwalaan sa gobyerno. Ayon sa kanya, panahon na upang tapusin ang kultura ng korupsyon na matagal nang nagpapahirap sa ating bansa. Ang mga revelasyon ni VP Duterte ay nagdulot ng malaking pagkabigla hindi lamang sa mga miyembro ng Senado kundi pati na rin kay Pangulong Kuting Jr. Ayon sa ilang malalapit na kalyado ni Kuting, hindi umano inaasahan ng Pangulo ang ginawang paglalantad ni Duterte, lalo na't hindi ito sumangguni sa kanyang bago magbigay ng pahayag sa Senado. Gayon pa man, marami ang nagpahayag ng suporta sa ginawa ni VP Sara na ayon sa kanila ay nagpapakita ng kanyang katapangan at tunay na malasakit sa bayan. Sa kabila ng pagkagulo ng Pangulo, hinihintay ngayon ng publiko ang magiging hakbang ng administrasyon hinggil sa mga ipinahayag ng aligasyon. Ayon kay VP Duterte, buwang kanyang tiwala kay Kuting ay gagawa ng mga nararapat na hakbang upang panagutin ang mga opisyal na sangkot sa korupsyon. At yan nga ang balitang ating pagkakatutukan. Ngunit bagong lahat, siguraduhin mag-subscribe at i-hit ang notification bell para sa patuloy na pagtutok sa mga silip ng bagong balita sa tunay na boses ng masa.
OIC of the Budget Division to present the salient points of the OVP budget for fiscal year 2025.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, and to the members of the committee. Presenting the highlights and salient features of the FY 2025 proposed budget of the Office of the Vice President. Under the FY 2025 National Expenditure Program, the Department of Budget and Management has recommended a budget of 2.037 billion pesos vis-a-vis the 3.24 billion proposal of the Office of the Vice President. The amount recommended is 8.05% higher than the FY 2024 budget as appropriated. This is composed of the following. The recommended personal services budget for FY 2025 is 9.25% of the total recommended budget. It covers 149 field positions, special duty allowance for military and uniformed personnel, salary for non-permanent positions. It also includes provision for terminal leave benefits of mandatory retirees, loyalty award, and anniversary bonus for OVP personnel. The total personal services including the RLIF for FY 2025 is 188.514 million pesos. Recommended MOOE or the maintenance and other operating expenses for FY 2025 is equivalent to 1.792 billion pesos. Significant portion of the total MOOE is allocated for the financial assistance or subsidies and supplies and materials or welfare goods, which account for 52.86% and 15.92% of the total MOOE. The MOOE is 87.98% of the total budget. The total capital outlay is 2.77% of the total recommended budget. This covers the procurement of motor vehicles in relation to the ceremonial, diplomatic, and advocacy-based engagements of the Office of the Vice President. It also includes ICT equipment and various machineries and equipment. By appropriation source, 2.026 billion or 99.5% is under the agency-specific and 0.05% is under the retirement and life insurance benefits. The appropriated budget of the OVP beginning 2019 is above 500 million. It has been consistently increasing since then, and under the current year appropriation, the OVP has 1.885 billion pesos. While the appropriation is consistently increasing, the obligation rate remained in good standing and maintained the rate at above 90%. The DBM recommended the budget of 2.037 billion for fiscal year 2025 vis-a-vis the 3.24 billion proposal, which is 8.05% higher than the FY 2024 budget as appropriated due to the expansion of the socio-economic services of the Office of the Vice President, which was proposed under Tier 2. Of the total OVP proposed budget, 1.269 billion or 62% is allotted for the socio-economic programs of the OVP. As the second highest office in the land, the OVP aims to promote the welfare of every Filipino in line with its vision to create lasting impact on the lives of every Filipino through its socio-economic programs and services. With this, the OVP established satellite offices and extension offices in key areas in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao to provide Filipinos with immediate access to the services offered by the OVP. In 2023, we were able to cater to 977,615 beneficiaries out of the 670,300 target, and as of June 30 this year, we have served 684,830 out of the 1,013,620 target beneficiaries. And for 2025, we target to cater 1,139,244 beneficiaries. For the fiscal year 2023, we have 977,615 total beneficiaries of all OVP services delivered, 793 strategic partnership established or strengthened, 98% of requests acted upon within standard processing time, 100% of projects with partners implemented as planned, 97% average satisfaction ratings for OVP services, and 489 ceremonial engagements completed. As to financial performance, out of the 2.447 billion pesos allotment, we have obligated 2.259 billion pesos with an obligation rate of 92%, and we have disbursed 2.096 billion pesos with a disbursement rate of 93%. As of June 30 of this year, we have 684,830 beneficiaries of all OVP services delivered, 287 strategic partnership established or strengthened, 98.8% of requests acted upon within standard processing time, 98.7% of projects with partners implemented as planned, 97.3% average satisfaction ratings of OVP services, and 255 ceremonial engagements completed. As to financial performance of the first semester of the fiscal year 2024, out of the 2.072 billion pesos allotment, we have obligated 826.6 million pesos with obligation rate of 40% and disbursed 518.379 million with a disbursement rate of 70%. As the second highest office in the land, the OVP carries out functions that complements work of other government agencies while advancing the well-being of the Filipino people. With a mission to deliver efficient, accessible, and responsive public services, our work resonates at the core of our nation's welfare and progress. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ma'am Edeline. Madam Chair, the OVP is ready to accept questions.
Before
you.
we open the floor for questions, Senator Bato de la Rosa would like to give an opening statement.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to express my utmost support for the proposed budget of the Office of the Vice President for fiscal year 2025 under the leadership of our esteemed Vice President Sara Duterte. Government service is making the most out of what little resources an office may possess. It is about finding ways to promote the general welfare of the people, however limiting or restricting the circumstances are. The OVP can only do so much with its annual budget, but it has set a good example to other government offices and agencies in maximizing funds. Vice President Sara Duterte could have just stood by and done nothing, but she chose a more proactive role in furthering the noble cause of Bangon Pilipinas, which is inclusivity in achieving economic and social growth. I have full confidence that the leadership of our Vice President is guided by her deep commitment to unite a country whose political landscape is constantly beset by division. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Senator Bato. Senator Bongo will now give his opening statement.
Magandang araw po sa ating lahat, no? Just want to express my support for the proposed budget of the Office of the Vice President for the year 2025. As a proud Dabawenyo, I have witnessed firsthand the remarkable work of VP Inday Sara Duterte. I can attest to the positive impact she has made on every community and the entire nation. Sa mga nakaraang taon, nagkaroon po ang OVP ng mga programang nagbibigay ng tunay na benepisyo po sa ating mga kababayan, from medical assistance to relief operations, educational support, pangkabuhayan programs at libreng sakay among others. In fact, the libreng sakay program has already served more than 638,000 passengers in Metro Manila, Bacolod, Cebu, and Davao in 2023 alone. Naalala ko po, meron pong pinahiram po sa akin na bus noong 2019 at ngayon po pinahiram rin po ito sa OVP at para po mas marami pang mga kababayan nating commuters ang makikinabang sa programang libreng sakay. In addition, we recently supported the Office of the Vice President to further augment its free bus rides. May ruta na po ito mula sa PITX hanggang Naik, Cavite at operational na po ito August 14. Malaking tulong po ito sa ating mga commuters dahil ang pamasaheng may titipid po nila 90 pesos hanggang 100 pesos. Bawat piso po ay napakahalaga po ito sa ating mga kababayang Pilipino, lalo-lalo po yung mga mahirap nating kababayan. Ang programang ito ay tunay na nakakatulong sa pagpapagaan ng kanilang araw-araw na pamumuhay, kaya mas lalo pa po dapat natin itong suportahan. At we laud the calamity and disaster response of the OVP, which help provide immediate relief assistance to more than 100,000 families affected by floods, fire, earthquake, among others. Muli, nais ko pong ihayag ang aking buong suporta po sa budget ng Office of the Vice President. Maraming salamat po, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Senator Bongo. I would like to recognize Senator Jinggoy Estrada for his opening.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Office of the Vice President has been an active partner of various government agencies in providing vital services to our kababayan, thus fulfilling its mandate to improve their lives and livelihood. Through the various programs that the OVP implements, our countrymen in the marginalized sector are empowered to become contributors to our nation's progress. For the year 2025, the OVP will implement 2 new programs that aim to promote education and health. One of the programs is the Educational Assistance Program, which will reach out to the poor, marginalized, vulnerable, and disadvantaged families. Another one is the Wheelchair Program, which will cater to individuals in need of wheelchairs. I am certain that these programs will greatly benefit our people. Sa katunayan, ito rin po ang madalas na idinudulog sa aming tanggapan dito sa Senado at ikinagalak namin na maglulunsad ng Office of Vice President ng mga programa upang tugunan nito. Maraming salamat po sa ating butihing pangalawang Pangulo, Vice President Sara Zimmerman Duterte, sa kanyang mapagmahal na paglilingkod sa ating mga kababayan. Marami po ang umaasa sa mga programang inyong pinatutupad at dahil dito ay patuloy namin susuportahan ang pagbibigay ng sapat na pondo upang may pagpatuloy ninyo ang mga ito at makatulong sa mas marami pa nating mga kababayan. Madam Chair, I would like to manifest my steadfast support for the approval of the proposed 2025 budget of the Office of the Vice President. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Senator Jinggoy. Senator Amy Marcos, or Senator Cynthia Villar, do you have any opening?
Just want to manifest my full support for the budget of the Vice President. Thank you.
No introductory statements thus far, but from what I've seen, I think the limited budget of the Office of the Vice President is an illustration that budgetary restraint should not serve as limitations in performing, but should inspire other government offices to be more innovative and to have more initiative. So it should be an illustration of how we should really deliver services to the people. So thank you, the Office of the Vice President. I am here to show my full support to the immediate passage of the budget of the Office of the Vice President. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Tolentino. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of my colleagues here today. I think I've only acknowledged two. I should acknowledge also Senator Tolentino, Senator Bongo, earlier Senator Bato, Senator Jinggoy Estrada, and now Senator Risa Hontiveros. Well, it's supposed to be Senator Amy, but then she doesn't really. Okay, then Senator Risa is now recognized. She's just catching her breath because she came from two other obligations. One is the Commission on Appointments and another hearing. Thank you.
Salamat po, Chair, at magandang hapon po sa lahat, mga kasama ko sa Senado at yung OVP family. Dalawang tanong lang po, Chair, para ngayong araw. Una po, I note that a huge chunk of the OVP's 2025 operations budget, 1.909 billion pesos, will be used for the delivery of socio-economic programs, such as one, medical and burial assistance program. This supplements other healthcare programs of the government to assist indigent individuals and families. For 2025, 771.445 million will be allocated for the program. Sa loob niyan, 600 million pesos for medical assistance and 171.445 million for burial assistance, which are, Madam Chair, very similar to the medical assistance to indigent or financially incapacitated patients program o MAIF-IP of the DOH. And DSWDs, Assistance for Individuals in Crisis Situations, or AICS. Pangalawa, disaster operations, which aims to provide relief goods to disaster-stricken areas not commonly reached by other agencies. Para doon, 101.644 million pesos. And is also similar doon naman sa disaster risk management program of the DSWD. Third, relief for individuals in crisis and emergencies, or providing food boxes or food items to families who are ineligible for OVP's other services. So 50 million pesos, which is also similar to DSWD's AICS. And last, Magnegosyo Taday, livelihood assistance for those with entrepreneurial skills, 150 million pesos, which is also similar to DOLE's naman, Integrated Livelihood Program o DLIP. So, ang tanong ko po dito, Madam Chair, anong nag-lead sa OVP na mag-consider na i-launch yung ganitong programs? May ginawa bang studies para suportahan yung pagkakaroon ng ganitong programs na parallel naman sa katulad at existing programs ng iba't iba nating line agencies, Madam Chair?
Yes, Madam Chair. Thank you. Noong ako po ay nangampanya, tatlo lang po yung sinabi ko na plataforma. Una po, trabaho. Pangalawa po, edukasyon. At tatlo, mapayapang pamumuhay para sa ating mga mamamayan. Nung pumasok po kami sa Office of the Vice President, tiningnan po namin ang mga pinakamaraming requests ng ating mga kababayan. Una-una po, ang lagi po naming natatanggap na request ay medical and burial assistance. Pangalawa po ay financial assistance. Pangatlo, lagi silang humihingi ng tulong sa pagkain. At pang-apat, very recently sa tali ng mga requests, no? Yes, sa tali ng mga requests is yung educational assistance na sinasabi ng mga kababayan natin. Sinasabi namin lagi sa kanila, libre naman yung public schools. Ngayon ay libre na rin yung higher educational institutions. Pero sinasabi nila nahihirapan kasi sila sa plete, nahihirapan sila sa pabaon ng mga bata at sa pagkain ng mga bata. Kaya meron kaming bago, ito yung educational assistance. At ang panghuli naman, lagi naming natatanggap na request galing sa ating mga kababayan ay kapag sila ay naging biktima ng disaster, whether man-made or natural disasters. So sila po ay lumalapit sa Office of the Vice President. Totoo po, merong mga ibang local government units at ibang national government agencies na ganito po ang kanilang programa. Pero po, nung ako ay umupo as a Vice President, I took an oath, and doon sa oath, I said that I will do justice to every man. So hindi po kami pwedeng humindi sa mga tao na humihingi ng tulong, lalong-lalo na ay kaparte ng gobyerno ang Office of the Vice President.
Salamat, VP, Madam Chair. Sabi nga ng VP, Madam Chair, libre na yung public school, libre na rin yung higher education, bagamat ni-note nila na sinasabi ng mga nagre-request na nahihirapan pa rin sila sa ilang mga programs na nakalodge sa ilalim ng libreng edukasyon na iyan. Kaya nga kinonsider nilang mag-launch ng ganitong mga katulad na programs. Iko-consider ba ng VP na i-lodge na lang yung mga budgets nitong mga programa dun na lang sa mga line agencies natin, tapos mag-request na lang ang OVP ng allocation para in sync sa priorities ng executive department sa halip na magkaroon pa ng hiwalay pero magkatulad naman na programa, Madam Chair?
Madam Chair, we only submit the budget and we leave it to the discretion of all the members of Congress to decide on the budget. We can only propose a budget for the Office of the Vice President. Pero magbibigay po ako ng halimbawa kung ganun po ang gagawin natin. Tulad po ng AIX ng DSWD. Kapag meron po kaming nire-refer o binibigyan ng endorsement ng AIX sa DSWD, kadalasan po nasagot sa amin ay hindi pwede dahil galing yan sa Office of the Vice President at kalaban yan. Minsan po, totoo yan na pupolitika ang assistance para sa ating mga kababayan. Kaya po, uulitin ko, ang mga tao naman kasi hindi sila tumitingin sa politika. Tumitingin lang sila na itong opisina na ito ay opisina ng gobyerno at pwede kaming humingi ng tulong doon. And so I go back to the oath that I shall do justice to every man, at kaya po kami nandito at kaya po kami merong mga ganito na mga projects sa Office of the Vice President.
Salamat, VP, Madam Chair. Wini-welcome ko yung sinabi nila na the VP would leave it to the discretion of the members of Congress. Medyo nagitla ako nung sinabing minsan pag may nire-refer ang OVP para sa AIX, ang feedback ay kalaban yan. Dahil, Madam Chair, I believe tayo sa Kongreso when we appropriate the budget, merong implicit na assumption tayo doon na pagkatapos in the exercise of our oversight function, yung parehong level ng professionalism we demand of ourselves ay presumption of regularity ina-expect natin sa lahat ng members ng executive, lalo na when they are working together. Kaya gaya ng sinabi ko kanina, wini-welcome ko yung sinabi ni VP na they would leave it to the discretion of the members of Congress, and tayo naman ay hindi tayo bibitaw sa mahigpit nating pag-ensure na these programs be implemented by the appropriate agencies o kahit in collaboration with each other na naaayon talaga sa tamang standards above partisan politics. And therefore, at the proper time, Madam Chair, gagawa ako ng proper motion para i-lodge yung budgets ng mga programang ito sa line agencies na may klarong opportunity for OVP na mag-request for allocation as for other offices in the executive. Yung huling tanong ko sa ngayon, Madam Chair, for 2025, one of the OVP's programs, Pagbabago Campaign, 1 Million Learners Entries, involves the provision of bags to 1 million learners in remote communities while initiating tree planting activities. This gets an appropriation of 100 million pesos. Part of this campaign is an allocation of 10 million pesos for the distribution of Isang Kaibigan Books, a children's book authored by the VP. Pwede po bang sabihin ni VP sa atin?
Nahinto na si Virus. Hoy, Virus, magsalita ka na. Ano nangyari?
More tungkol sa librong ito.
Here, let me make a rebuttal and another example of politicizing the budget of the government. Ito pong sinabi ni Senator Risa Ontiveros na at the proper time she'll make a motion to lodge the budget, the requested budget of the OVP to the other agencies. Let me just quote Senator Risa during the Akbayan Congress. Alam ko po na ang daming kalat ni Duterte na hirap tayong linisin. Ang kadiliman noong panahon niya ay talaga namang nanuot sa ating lipunan para mansa na napakahirap tanggalin. At habang ang anak niya ay may kapangyarihan pa, hindi magiging madali ang ating laban. While VP Sara is in power, the threat of a full-blown Duterte comeback is still a very real and present danger. For one, they are supported by one major superpower, China. So that is an example of politicizing the budget of the government. May we request, Madam Chair, that Senator Risa Ontiveros repeat the last question.
I will certainly, if you request, Madam Chair, repeat my question dahil walang kinalaman sa kasasabi lang ng VP ngayon. Alam nating lahat na miyembro ng iba't ibang partido, yung speeches natin sa ating mga kamiyembro sa mga party congresses ay hiwalay na event dito sa budget debates. So I really take exception dun sa sinabi ni VP na rebuttal iyan dahil halimbawa ito sa politicizing. In fact, wala akong tinanong tungkol sa China o kahit sino pa mang ibang bansa dito sa budget hearing na to. I am asking about yung national budget na ipapasa natin sa Kongreso para sa bansang Pilipinas sa taong 2025. At ang pangalawang at huling tanong ko sa ngayon, before I make at the proper time propose an amendment which may or may not be accepted by the chair and by the colleagues para nga mas i-align ang mga kaperahan natin lalo na't masikip ang fiscal space natin dun sa mga appropriate programs sa appropriate agencies na malayang-malaya ang OVP makipag-partner sa kanila tulad ng sino pang opisina sa executive.
Magandang balita ang hatid namin sa inyo ngayong araw. Sa pagtatapos ng aming balitaan, nagbigay kami ng mga mahalagang impormasyon. Maraming salamat sa pagtutok at pagsuporta sa aming programa. Huwag kalimutang manatili sa mga susunod na araw para sa mga bagong balita at mga kwento na dapat nating abangan. Mula sa Boses ng Masa, magandang araw Pilipinas!